Hello everyone, welcome back to the FM Dugout, and it's episode 2 of the Hexagon Challenge here with Ajman Club in United Arab Emirates. So, what's happened? Well, I've actually played my first competitive game and the recording was corrupted, so I'll need to give you a kind of brief overview of that game and then get through to the next one. So anyway, since the last episode, I have got more familiar with the squad. I've made signings and sorted out the backroom staff. Transfer window's now shut. Played all the friendlies, etc. So let's just take a quick look first, probably at the transfers. And as you can see, a huge number of transfers out. There was a lot of players that were just surplus to requirements or rubbish youngsters who weren't happy. The most notable one there is Boris Kabi, who was one of the foreign players who's gone to Al-Wada for 190k. Now, I just wasn't too happy with how he was playing in the first few friendlies, and I thought before it gets to competitive games and then I find out he is not going to be up to scratch, try and sell him, offered him to clubs, and sure enough Al-Wada came through for him. 190k, pretty reasonable price, got to say. The other guys here, looks like Masfit have had their entire squad made up by our players, our rejects. All the free transfers are mutual terminations of players that just weren't happy. These 5 here were left out of squad registration and just started complaining about it, so out they went. So we signed 8 players, and start off with Mohammed Hamid Mubarak, who is a central midfield, attacking midfielder or left winger, and he's actually going to get utilised in the left winger position. As you can see from his stats for a winger, it's not too bad. Most of them double figures. Need to work on the stamina, but dribbling could be a little bit higher. Not too bad. Coach is quite happy with him as well. Good little player. All of these guys were free transfers as well. You know, that's just my style when it comes to these type of games. Next up was Muhammad Ali, not the boxer. This guy is going to be a backup defender. Really just brought in his marking, tackling's good, positioning, leadership decisions, anticipation, not bad. As you can see, he's poor in the air, can't really head, terrible to jump, strength's not particularly good, so he is going to pretty much be a last resort for us at centre back. Next up is the man our fans deemed as an aberration of a signing. So Sheikh Ali Sultan Rashid at right back. Now we only have one right back, so I wanted to get someone else in who seemed like they were decent enough. And I can see some of his skills here. He's naturally fit. He's brave, aggressive, good teamwork, good tackling, decent marking. Yet the fans seem to think he's terrible. 4 pros, 4 cons. Yeah, I mean, again, he's back up. I can't really complain. He's only on £140 a week, so not too bad. Then we've got Saeed Mohammed, who is effectively going to play as advanced playmaker behind the striker if he gets a game. Youngster with sort of squad sort of status in mind, earn £100 a week. And as you can see from his stats, nothing particularly amazing. Technique, flair, not too bad. His finishing's decent enough. Teamwork, work rate, and natural fitness, so got a decent engine on him. Next up is a guy I quite like the look of so far. It's Adel Abdullah, who is a left back, left wing back. He was 16 when we signed him, now turned 17. Not too bad, I'd say, for his age. Need to work on the marking and tackling and so on. His physicals aren't fantastic. He's fit enough and he's fairly quick. Got a good work rate and teamwork. Good aggression as well. So quite pleased with that signing. Then we've got Abdullah Al-Kamali, who is probably the one that I'm most excited about. Certainly in the friendlies so far, he has played really well. Now his favoured position is a striker, but I'm going to play him as a right winger because we just don't have any right wingers. So as a winger, we're probably looking for his crossing to be a bit better. I'd like his pace to be a bit higher, but we'll take what we can get. We didn't have right wingers in the first squad anyway. We then have Michael, who is the replacement of the foreigner. for Boris Kabi. Now Michael is Brazilian as well as Tata. Now you can see 5 pros, 5 cons. 3 of those cons are the eligibility, so it's actually 5 against 2. So I'm quite pleased with that. Now you can see he's a good player, but he seems to have dipped a bit since he first signed for us. He was excellent in the friendlies, but in the last game in the U.A.E FA Cup with the corrupt save, not the corrupt save, the corrupt video, he didn't do too well. But he looks like a really good striker, and I think he will take over from Tata. And on the final day of the transfer window, we signed Abdullah Ahmed, who was actually previously with Ajman, was without a club for a year or two. So we've signed him. Yeah, okay, so he's not amazing, but I think he'll add something to the centre of a park. His skills are decent for his position, first touch passing, work rate vision, teamwork and so on. All very kind of middle of the road, sort of 12, just in the right side of the double figures. So £275 a week, can't really complain with that. So that's the signings. In terms of the squad, I just want to show you this guy, Ahmed Ibrahim, who was actually sitting in our reserves, and he seems like he's one of the best players at the club. He's an Iraqi central defender who has just had his first cap with Iraq actually since the game started. And you can see he's heading, marking, tackling, fairly pacey, good jumping reach on him, decent strength. I think this guy's got the makings of a pretty decent player. Pretty crazy pros and cons, 8 cons, but obviously 3 are for the eligibility because he's from Iraq, so he counts as the one foreigner who is an Asian player, so so confusing. Anyway, so that's the squad. Let's take a look at how we did in the friendlies. So we had 7 friendlies, had 5 wins, a draw and a loss. Now up until this point here, we were playing 4-1-2-1-2 or the 4-4-2 narrow diamond formation. Just wasn't working. The strikers weren't clicking, didn't seem to be getting much penetration through the middle. Really struggled when we played against teams where they had wide players. I don't really want to spend too long going through these. They were just kind of non-events really. Then the 3 games that we had here, we changed to the 4-2-3-1 wide, my favourite formation, the one that I did with the I'll Take the Low Road series with Peebles, and it just seemed to have a much better balance. Now, it wasn't just the formation, these are weaker teams because I wanted to get the morale up before the first game of the season, which was against Al Khalij in the U.A.E FA Cup, and that was a 1-1 draw. As you can see, we were booked several times. Look at the stats though. I mean, this was the kind of game, there weren't many highlights in it, right? And it just seemed as though, I don't know whether it's the match engine or what, but we only had like 2 or 3 highlights for ourselves. Their goal came courtesy of a cross that the goalkeeper completely fluffed, and our goal was a shot that was blocked that then fell back to Al-Kamali. No, I don't think it did. I think it dropped to Kamis outside the box. He played it into Kamali and he slotted it in the bottom right corner. And yeah, I mean, we should have won that game comfortably. I told the guys they were unlucky because you can't really slate them for being in control that much and just not winning the game because you were up against the goalkeeper that was playing quite well. So that was the first game of the Cup, and it was a 1-1 draw. So as it stands, it's a league, right? It's a weird cup. You play each team once, and these 10 teams here are the same ones that make up the First Division. So this is actually like a mini run of the First Division league here in United Arab Emirates. So I wasn't too bothered about winning it before. Now I feel like I want to win it because I want to make sure that we can beat the other 9 teams. So I'm hoping this game that will be coming up shortly will give us our first win I mean, look at 28-7. Ugh, so annoying. Yeah, so that's how things have gone so far at Ajman Club. I'm pretty comfortable with it at the moment. I think things are going relatively well, but let's just skip forward to the next game and I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, here we are for our game today against Dibba Al-Hisn. No idea if I've said that right. So they are actually top at the moment of this group. So yes, it will be a good challenge today, a good chance for us to kind of redeem ourselves for last week. It looks as though they play a 4-4-1-1. He looks fairly decent. 2 goals in his first game. Yeah, they've actually played really well in the first match, so this could be quite a challenge for us. So this is how the team is lining up at the moment, and chances are I'm going to play the same lineup as the last time, apart from sticking Tata on the bench instead of Adaf Abdullah. So in goals we have Ali Mizmari, who is our backup goalkeeper to the 40-year-old keeper. And he's 32, so he's hardly a spring chicken. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly decent, but he made a complete mess in the last game of a cross ball, so I'm not very pleased with him at the moment. Then our first choice right back, who not particularly amazing, and he is actually a centre back, it's Talal Mubarak Khalfan. Ahmed Ibrahim, our Iraqi centre back. Jazim Ali Fakir. Yeah, he seems pretty good. Again, another one who's not particularly good at heading and not particularly strong. Seems to be a common trend. Then our 17-year-old left back, Adel Abdullah. Star player Driss Fatoui as a deep lying playmaker. Then our other star player in midfield, Walid Ahmed Hassan. Scored a hat-trick in one of our friendlies. Super fit player, 29 years old. Will start alongside Fatoui. Then on the right wing, new signing Abdullah Al-Kamali, Ali Khamis playing in the central position behind the striker, Mohammed Hamid Mubarak on the left, and finally Michael up front. And I think this will be our standard kind of 11, apart from maybe the goalkeeper. It just depends when he's back if he plays any better than this guy. So I've actually just seen why has he got advanced playmaker? You are a winger. Did I change that or did it do it itself? I don't know. Yeah, so happy, good to go. Team looking relatively fit. Let's see if we can bounce back from the disappointment of the first game. I say disappointment, it was a 1-1 draw away from home and we absolutely bossed it. I shouldn't be that disappointed. So opposition instructions as ever. I mean, I see most people that just apply advice. I always stick to the same stuff. I always make sure that I close down players in the kind of creative positions and make sure going hard on them as well. It's a risk. You saw in the last one, it was 4 yellow cards, no reds yet. Now look at this formation though. My goodness, they are sitting back. I've never seen 4 across that line just in front of the defence. They are bricking it, it's fair to say. So this could be a difficult game for us to break them down. We'll just have to see how it goes. Let's tell the guys that we might go top of the table. See, yeah, okay, that means nothing. But then again, I'm talking English. They don't understand it. So yeah, fair enough. A decent enough result for the team talk. So here we go, game number 2. Hopefully this video won't be corrupted. A chance straight from the off. Corner kick, 15 seconds in. Can we make anything of it? Fatoui whips it to the back post. Nope. That's a foul against us. Not too bad though, at least we got straight to the goal from kick-off. It actually looks as though the line has maybe advanced a little bit further forward. I'd expect them to have a lot of the possession, packing out the midfield like that. Okay, 25 minutes gone, and we're not really doing a great deal with the ball when we have it. 3 shots, none in target. What can we do from here? Khalfan with a throw. Hassan picks up in the middle of the park. Only 2 in front of him, and he's got about 7 green jerseys. Out wide right to Khalfan. To Kamali, back post Mubarak. Simple tap in, and he's onside. Excellent. So we move up to second now, and it looks like Al Daid are 2 for 2 at the moment. 3 goal difference to the good. And now we're down to third. No, it's not too bad. We're in control. Certainly the other team aren't posing any great threat. Not particularly happy with these guys. How are you going to respond? How are you going to respond? Nobody looking fired up. I'm a little bit. I always like to take people like that off whenever they don't seem like they're motivated or fired up when I tell them that they've been crap. But it looks as though they're quite happy to just bask in the glory of a 1-0 half-time lead. So hopefully we can get a second goal here, because I hate 1-goal leads. Michael is having another poor game today, and I am just going to bring him off. We're going to try Tata. What can we play him? Really don't feel like the Trequartista. I don't know. It just seems a bit too kind of laid back, I think, from a defensive point of view. They just don't do any work. I don't know. Maybe that's just the thing with the players like that in this country, or countries like this. They just think they don't have to try that hard. Okay, so another highlight. Will we win it back? Will it be our attack, or will it be the attack of Dibba Al-Hisn? The keeper comes out. Well, at least he can catch the ball there, because he didn't last time in the previous game. And a big long ball up the park, and it's just come straight back down again. Ibrahim forward to Kamis. There's a run out in the right, if he can find it, but he hasn't. He just plays it back to Fatui, and now Fatui tries to find it on the right but can't get it there. Fatui again there, that's the ball we wanted. Khalfan chips it into Al Kamali, and it's blocked. A decent build-up play. Maybe would like the tempo to be a bit quicker and his passing to be a bit sharper, but not too bad. I don't think we're going to get a chance from this. The highlight will probably just end here. Please end. Please end. I don't want them to score on the counter. They've had 1 shot and none in target in 60 minutes, and they're probably going to score here. Ball chipped in. Yep, there you go. Classic Football Manager for you there. Nothing all game, and then just one little move up the park and they finish. So it looks as though we've got some work to do here. Not too happy with the centre backs there. I'm just going to take them off for Hassan. And what else have we got available to us? Well, the midfielders aren't playing too badly. Ali Khamis is not playing well. And what could we do here? We could put... I'm just trying to think how we can rearrange this. So I could put Al Kamali there, Mubarak through the middle, and I can take off Khamis, who's complacent, for a youngster who wants to prove himself. And let's see if these guys understand my English team talk. Obviously he's making the third substitution now with 25 minutes to go. Bit of a risk, but can't really afford 2 draws in a row, especially when we've been in control of both games. As I say, this isn't the kind of primary focus, but from a reputation point of view, for a manager who starts off as a former Sunday League player, winning a cup competition in a league in the first year would be pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go to overload, and we're going to pump the ball into the box. We're going to hit whipped crosses and pass into space, if there is any. I'm sitting that deep, I think it could be quite difficult to find the space, but let's see what happens. And we'll give an assertive team talk from the sidelines. I'm sure they can interpret sign language when we say push forward. I think it might be a 1-1 draw, deja vu. We're really ruining the fact we cannot finish these chances up front. And, well, there might be one more chance. Who's it going to fall to? Tata plays it to Al-Hamadi. Switches to Al-Kamali. Switches again to Khalfan. Can he get it into the box? He does. Tata and the keeper saved. And Al-Hamadi couldn't finish it. Once again, a wonder keeper playing against you. I don't think we're going to score from here. So I think it's going to end 1-0, and that will be our second draw. We're going to have to turn it around in the next game, because we can't keep doing this. We can't keep taking a game and controlling it and losing a goal as softly as that. And yeah, let's see what happens here. Will we get one more chance? Usually at this point we'll just run the clock down, but Tata gets the ball on the edge of the box, and yeah, clearly he just thought that the stand looked a bit empty and wanted to put the ball in it. Frustrating. Yep, that's the story of this save so far. 2 games played, 2 games owned, and 2 games with 1 point. I'm going to tell them that I wasn't good enough, because it wasn't this time round. You were at home, should have done better than that. Anyway, so that's us 2 out of 9 already for the FA Cup here. I had been planning on doing the final game here just to show whether or not we were in the running for winning it. Looks like we might not be now. We've got a lot of ground to make up probably. Actually, do we? How many teams have we got on 6? Just the one. It's in 6th place. That's not too bad. We can pull it back, I think. Yep, so I'll do that episode there against Dubai, and then maybe against Dubai or Al Uruba. Great name. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. There's only going to be a few episodes, I think, for this season. Try and keep it as short as possible. So, if you like 1-1 draws, hit that like button. Leave a comment. Let me know how you think the series is going so far. Do you think Ajman, based on what you've seen, are going to be able to get promoted? Do you think they're actually going to be a team that we can look to finish one corner of the Hexagon Challenge and win the Asian Champions League at some point in the future? Leave a comment, let me know. So guys, I'll see you in episode 3 for the end of the U.A.E FA Cup. That's a mouthful. And until the next time, I'll see you when I see you.